Hey there, football fans. Welcome to Football Fanatic. I'm your host, Mike. I'll be hosting the show bi-weekly. We'll talk, we'll obviously talk football. We'll bring up any topics or debates you want to have. Um, for the first episode, I'm just going to start with the first topics for the first couple weeks. I'll be building the topics, and then I'll be looking at you, the viewers, to supply the questions, supply the topics you want to talk about. So let's get this started. First topic. Maurice Jones-Drew holding out of Jaguars training camp. Everybody knows he is. Everybody knows he's looking for more money. My personal feelings about this is you got to pay the guy. He's been your offense. He's been your everything. He's making that team go. Last year, Blaine Gabbert as a rookie, terrible. I have my personal feelings about Blaine Gabbert. What I saw in college, what I saw is, him coming into the draft. I just did not think he was that good. He was always putting his receivers in bad spots. He'd throw, into tight areas where they were getting lit up. His footwork was bad. He was easily rattled under pressure, especially pressure up the middle. And I know that's common for a lot of quarterbacks, but, they were hyping him up to be this great quarterback. I just didn't see it. And, as he's coming out this year in preseason, he's really liking, people are liking what they see from him. I still have my doubts. I still wonder what's going to go on in the regular season when, you know, you're not seeing vanilla offenses, you're seeing complex schemes. Can he read those schemes? Is he going to come off his primary reads? I never thought he did. Last year and especially in college, I just think he knew where he was going with the ball and, you know, counting on his arm to, get it in there. They need Maurice Jones-Drew to help him continue to develop. He's looked better in the preseason. He's finding his targets. He's got Justin Blackman to throw to, Mercedes Lewis to throw to, but he needs MJD to really power that running game, to really take the pressure off of him, to really even out that offense. I know that they have Jennings and Greg Jones, but you know, all the credit to them. They're not Maurice Jones-Drew. And, last year he piled up 1,600 yards. For Pocket Hercules, that guy, I'm taller than that guy. Yeah, he would stomp me in a second, but, he needs me to get on certain rides. At Disneyland, the Matterhorn, he'd be sitting in front of me because he's a small guy. Um, but he is that offense. New owners, they want him to honor his contract. They want him to play it out. But the guy's got a lot of wear and tear on those treads. He's been running, he's been racking up yards. He's been the Jaguars since he came out of college. And, I know he sees his window closing on his career. Running backs have a short wingspan. Running backs have a short lifespan anyway. And, some of them have, longer careers than others. He's definitely put a lot of miles on those tires. And he is an elite running back. So he's probably wondering the same thing the rest of us are wondering. How much longer can he keep this up? He's looking for that big last payday before he probably realizes he's got nothing left in the tank. He goes the Tomlinson route where he, either he stays with the Jags or he signs with somebody else. And they pay him to be a third down back, which he's more than capable of being if that's what he's just going to be. But, he sees that window closing. So let me know what you guys think. I've already told you what I think about Maurice Jones-Drew. Let me know what you think about the current situation. Should the Jags pay him? Should they, they've just come out saying that they're open to trade him. Should they trade him? And if they trade him, who do you think he'd be a good fit for? Let me know. Second topic, Peyton Manning. Guy's coming off 4 neck surgeries last year. Everybody knows, released by Indianapolis. He goes around looking for the best fit. I personally thought his best fit would be in San Francisco. Killer defense. And, they would have gone to the Super Bowl and they would have smashed the Patriots. But, bad punts. And I thought, the only thing that would have got them easily over that hump would have been, Peyton Manning pulling that trigger. He's got targets: Vernon Davis, Michael Crabtree, Ted Ginn. If Peyton just wants to hand it off to him, because I don't know that Ted's really gonna catch anything, but he might. And I really thought Peyton's best chance was to go there, go to the Niners. Hand the ball off to Frank Gore, hand the ball off to Brandon Jacobs, hand the ball off to LaMichael James, and throw down the seam to Vernon Davis, a la Dallas Clark. You've got that recipe set up. Why not? No, shocker. He goes to the Denver Broncos. Not a bad team in their own respect. They look like they could win the AFC West now with that good defense that they had last year under Dennis Allen, who is now the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. Um, they've got a good defense. They've got some young wide receivers, Demarius Thomas, Eric Decker. Those are some good, big-bodied receivers. He's got a running game. He's got Lance Ball. He's got Ronnie Hillman. Um, I'm totally leaving that other running back's name out of the list, but you guys know who I'm talking about. And I'm not doing it on purpose. And he's got some pieces there. But can he continue to be the Peyton Manning of old? Obviously not. He's on the decline. He knows that. We know that. And in these last two preseason games, while he's shown pieces, he's yet to throw a touchdown, and he continues to throw interceptions in the red zone, and that's been a real big killer. And it's obviously a big killer for any offense. Um, you never want to throw interceptions, and you never want to throw interceptions in the red zone. You never want to walk out with no points when you could walk out with at least 3. And so, it's not all his fault. There have been some tip balls. Um, so I'm sure we're all anxious to see how Peyton recovers and how Peyton looks, especially after his next big shot that he's going to take. And he's going to take a shot. It's coming. No quarterback gets out of, go the full season without taking that big shot. And he's going to take it. We want to see how his neck holds up. We want to see how his arm holds up the rest of the season. Does he get fatigued down the season? So we just that's an interesting thing to take a look at. Let me know what you guys think about the Broncos' record, and do you think it hinges upon Peyton being healthy the entire year? I legitimately think they could go 9-7. They can win the West, get into the playoffs. I don't know how far they can go. I don't think they can get to the AFC Championship, especially with teams like Pittsburgh and New England and the Houston Texans around. I just don't think they could do it, let alone the Baltimore Ravens, who they probably take a wild card spot behind the Steelers, and maybe even the Cincinnati Bengals swallowing up that other wild card spot. I don't see Denver going all the way this year. I see San Francisco making a deep run, and maybe that would, that would have some Niners telling Manning, we told you so, And our last topic is, as of this video being made, we are now 1 week away from college football kickoff, and I have to tell you, it is exhilarating to finally know that there are some games that matter, games that count in the win-loss column on the horizon. USC ranked #1 in the country. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. I probably agree with that for their starting, 22, maybe one of the best starting 22 in the country, behind, arguably, and, it'd be a hard argument to make that he's not the #1 quarterback in the nation, Matt Barkley, thrown to Robert Woods, and, he's got targets. He's got targets everywhere. But due to Scully's, sanctioned Scully's, do they have the depth to keep up with teams like Oregon? Or if they can get into the national title picture, do they have depth to keep up with teams like, LSU and Alabama, who have depth, who are just going to pound it at them? Injuries are going to take their toll on the Trojans. And so the real question is, can they last all the way through the season undefeated, no injuries, no major injuries? There's going to be nicks and bruises. And are they going to have some guys step up? Some guys really fill the void where they need help? And is the SEC going to continue its dominance of the national title scene? It's a big question to ask, and this is our last year of the BCS. Eventually we're going to get rid of it. Thank God, it's time for it to go. But let me know, what college team are you looking for? What college team do you think are the big sleepers to make it through the season, undefeated, and make that run, make that bid for a national championship run. All right, guys, this pretty much wraps up the first episode of Football Fanatic. Once again, my name's Mike. I'll be checking in with you guys later on in the week to answer any questions that you may have posted to me, or to just let you know about 3 new topics I'd like to talk about. All right, guys. So this is me signing off. Talk to you again soon.